For the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And this is For the Players, the PopCulturists PlayStation Podcast. Over 50 years of playing PlayStation and like 13 plus years now, games media combined. I'd like to thank you for joining us in this PlayStation conversation.
This PlayStation conversation happens every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can. Come and check out our socials: Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and X. All of those links can be found in the description below.
If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturists, where you watch us record this show live, where you can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation pod. If you're listening to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, with comment below. I'll endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturists. Max, what's going on?
I'm sunburnt.
Really? Oh, and you are like nice, neat, and tidy as well. Did that contribute to said sunburn?
No.
Oh.
I was just doing some yard work this weekend, and despite putting on lots of sunscreen, your boy got sunburnt.
Oh, how long were you out in the sun?
4 hours.
Okay, that's a good answer. Yeah, all right. That explains it.
With two applications of sunscreen.
Hmm.
Went out there at 10:30 with sunscreen on. Came back in at 12:30. Had lunch. Put more sunscreen on. Went back out there.
Well, you had 2-hour intervals with reapplication. You should have been fine. Damn, that ginger in you.
Oh well, shit happens.
Well, how did it go? Because last time I was at your place, your backyard was an experience.
Yeah, Jumanji's gone.
Yeah.
Have a nice tidy bush now.
Nice, hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was.
Nice.
That's good. It's looking good. I fucked up though. I thought this week was the green collection.
Oh, no. Yep.
Fucking not. So not only is my green bin full, I've got 3 of those plastic tubs filled with grass clippings as well, and I've got more to go.
Oh, because you don't have garden beds in your backyard, so you can't just like tip them on the garden bed.
I do, but I'm pulling everything out of the garden bed. That's the whole point.
So it's why you cleaned up. Yeah. Shit, that makes it hard.
Yeah.
You just have to dumpster dive with big containers of like grass clippings come bin day. Yeah, sounds like a good thing. Anything else though? Like what else been going on apart from being sunburn and cutting grass?
Not much.
Riveting
really.
podcasting. Solid.
Yeah, no, I've done fuck
Yeah,
all.
no, I'm in a similar boat.
I'm just counting down the days for Green Day next week.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm quite excited for you. I didn't get tickets, even though Green Day were the first band I ever saw like live. An American Idiot, supported by Jimmy Eat World and My Chemical Romance. It was awesome.
Well, Mum and Dad are iffy about coming down because apparently there's been a COVID scare. So they're like, we may not come down. Do you know anyone who would buy a ticket? I'm like, I might know a few people.
Oh yeah, I'd be interested. How much are we talking?
I think we paid like 113.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I could negotiate that. Yeah. I think we could make something happen. We could make something happen.
So I'll keep you on my in case of emergency. I'll call you Saturday.
Yeah, man. That'd be sick. I haven't listened to like any new Green Day shit since 21st Century Breakdown, but I don't think many people have.
Well, I mean, you don't need to because they're playing Dookie and American Idiot in complete.
Yes.
So like,
what a set list. What a set list.
AFI opening.
Oh.
Although I know like one fucking song by AFI, so I have no interest in.
Nah, yeah, I got a couple. Like, give me Miss Murder. Give me
that's it. I'm out.
The Leaving song. That's pretty sick. There's another song. I forget what it was. What is it? I don't remember now. But then, like, they won't play any of their like super old cool pop punk, like super punky shit, like the proper hardcore punk. But that'd be interesting, nonetheless. What have I?
Mute in the chat. Green Day's from their city.
Hey, where are they from? California somewhere? Pretty sure. Because I used to play at like, what's that fucking venue? Whatever. Some very popular hard. I don't know. It's the end of the day. My brain's fucking melty. Like Max, you know, in terms of like myself, I've just come off Bay Area in California. I've just come off a week off work, which was lovely. I didn't really do much of anything, and it was the best. You know, played some games, I think. Oh, no, I kind of really didn't. I just kind of just hung around. I just, you know, rested, watched a bunch of Simpsons. That was really fun. But that did mean that I did start my new place of employment today, which was awesome. So, as I've discussed before, I'm now the regional coordinator for the Life Changer Foundation, which is a series of in-school mental health, youth mental health supports, facilitation of like presentations and programs and stuff. It looks really cool. So first day on the job, pretty fun. A lot of information to take in. I'm working out of the Cotton On building. So for those that don't know, Cotton On is a very massive fashion clothes brand here in Australia. I'm unsure whether it's international. However, like I come to learn today because I just simply didn't pay attention.
It's definitely international, but it may not be everywhere.
Yeah, so like they also cover, like they are the parent company of like of Supre, of obviously Cotton On Kids, Typo, and there's like another one as well. Like this company is ginormous. So I go to their I'm working out of their head office now here in Geelong because it's a Geelong founded company. The building is insane. It is one of the most like lavish luxury places I've ever seen in my life. The foyer, like in the cafeteria, it looks like a hotel. And like they have 3 different buildings, and there's like an entire building. It's just a wellness center. Now, granted, I don't work for Cotton On, but they are like the key. Like, you know, we use their space as they're one of the key donators to the foundation. They have like quite a strong business relationship. And that's really cool. What I'm finding interesting already, Max, is pretty much every job I've ever had. I've always came in as entry level because I've always entered new workforces, new industries. Where here, like I am returning to youth mental health and youth supports. So it's really bizarre to come in and like not be like, hey, it's day one, but it's not like day one. Does that make sense?
I'm just looking on their website. They haven't updated it yet.
With what?
You are not listed on their on
No,
their
of course
website
not.
yet. The old person is still listed.
Yeah, sick.
Like, I wonder if they like.
Oh, J-Dubs, the entry level grind at Mill Park. Yeah, dude, that's right. That shit was fucking butts. Absolute butts. Yeah, I don't go do that shit no more. Thank Christ. Oh my God. But yeah, it's like so come in at like not entry level, and then to be like treated as such was really nice. And having previously worked in youth supports and like creating something quite positive and strong within the Geelong region, it's been really, really lovely. Obviously all my big trainings and stuff start tomorrow as I learn how they do it. But I have a feeling I think I'll be all right. I think I'll be all right at this new place. But can confirm traffic is not fun. Driving sucks. Leaving the house was really nice. Normally I get, when I was working from home, like some of the days just felt painfully long. And there, it would be like, oh, it's going to be like 2:00 and it's like 11. I'm wanting to die. Thankfully, going out of the house, working somewhere is like helpful. They went really, really quickly. But yeah, I was just going day one, got a whole, hopefully a long time to know more about the role and enjoy it further. But I got a very lovely message from you, Max, at 8:31 this morning. I started at 8:30, so I didn't answer it. But I appreciate it. Very kind words, being like, don't fuck it up. I'm like, thank you, Max.
I had intended to send it earlier. I'm like, it's his first hour, but not like wake him up by sending a bullshit message to him at like 3:00 in the morning as I'm leaving work. And then I forgot about it until I was driving my kid to school. I'm like, oh, it's his first day. And hey, good luck. Make some friends or don't, whatever.
Yeah.
Let you go.
What?
Maybe everyone sucks. I don't know. Like, it
Yeah.
is a real possibility these days.
Speaking of like communicating at 3:30 in the morning, Saturday night, I was very tempted to be like, "Yo, Max, you up? I'm fucking dying." So I knew you would have been.
I over the weekend, I think I went to bed at Friday night. I went to bed at I think 5:30 Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And got up at 11, and then Sunday morning I went to bed at 5 and got up at 9.
Oof. Why?
And then did yard work all day because I had stuff to do.
But why stay up so late? Oh, obviously for work, right? Yeah, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I worked wrestling on Saturday. I came home, got back at about I don't know 12 o'clock ish because it was a city show. So I did comms, packed all my shit up, and I just came straight here. My son was here, and as I was just had a shower, pottering around the house, like winding down so I could get ready for bed. Next thing, my son wakes up and he's just fucking covered in mozzie bites. I'm like, well, that sucks. We get cream immediately fix them, and he's like, I don't want to sleep in that room. That room's full of mozzies. I'm like, that's a fair call, dude. There probably is some mozzies in there because you're covered in bites. But my son's very much like, once you wake him up, you're done. Like, he's gonna be awake now. Because for him, he only rests to recharge slightly and then go again. Like, he'll just sit for a minute, go from like 1% to 3%, and then just bum rush those 2%. So he's working. I'm like, I can't get back to sleep. I haven't slept at all yet. I'm like, all right, bud, I'll stay awake with you. And here I am at 3:30 in the morning, with my son just like staring at the wall. Yeah. I was like, oh. I just wanted to like die, and I'm like, I was wondering whether you would be. I was messaging him like, how do you do this? I think I'm going to die. But thankfully I didn't have to do that. In the chat, Mute jumps in and says, yeah, my mum's going through the same thing, the bugs in the bed. Like, it's interesting. So the only reason is we had the door open to the house because our cat was out. We're waiting for him to come in. But it was a stinking hot day that then led into like a downpour. So of course, mozzies and shit just like, it got humid, and mozzies were like, fuck yeah, let's go. And they had fun in the house. I think I got bit too, but nowhere near as much as my kid. But eventually I did get him to fall asleep, and it was great. But it was one of those things where as I'm lying there looking at the roof going, I start my new job tomorrow, and I'm going to start the day before my job on bugger all sleep. Yeah, good choice, Ryan. Yeah, well done. Just my luck. But it wasn't so bad. Not so bad at all. But let's get into what this show, like, this show is really, about us and our experiences and who we are as people. But it's also about, games and shit. So, like, especially what we've been playing. What have you been playing this week, Max?
Nothing but League of Legends.
Fuck.
Actually. I've not turned my... I mean, I dabbled in a little bit more of Destiny. And, like, I turned PlayStation on Friday to play them new Astro Bot levels. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I have not really. Well,
let's jump onto that because we both thoroughly enjoyed Astro Bot, and it's worth chatting about, especially for yourself, for someone that is a big fan of the speed runs. How have you found these two new levels compared to say the last batch?
Yeah, so they're good. They're fun. So the first one that was not last week but the week before uses the VR time stop system.
This was the level that was seen at a like a speed running event, PlayStation event.
Yeah. So that's out now. I'm like 20 seconds behind world record holder. So
wow. I went ooh, and then I realized, like, in speed running, that is ungodly. Like, how?
I don't know. I haven't watched like the world record video.
Yeah. It doesn't have the two different birds in it for this one, so it doesn't really matter. You just got to finish it.
No, you just got to finish it. And then this week's you have the dog again.
Yeah.
And it has some very tricky platforming sections, which is awesome.
I did have some trouble with the second one.
And once again, I'm 26 seconds behind world record. Because the world record holder has changed clearly changed the inputs on his controller.
Yeah.
And you just button mash the fuck out of the dog. And you just pound it constantly. He's constantly boosting. I don't think he ever stops boosting. Every time he touches the ground, he's boosting again. So.
That is ridiculous.
And I don't have the patience to sit there min max. I was like, I finished it. I got my robot. I'm out.
I got my robot. I got my trophy. Like that's all I wanted. I just wanted to go in, get my robot, get my trophy, and then skedoodle.
Yeah, so we've got 3 levels left. So one more each week for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, like you said, the first one I found quite easy in terms of the time. Just like and I got there reasonably quick. It did take me a couple of times as I misread some distance, but like that second one, that I got a little frustrated. Like it, there was particular moments. Oh, it was the tentacles that like, or the roots that went over. Like I felt like their hitbox or their hit registry was not even near it. Like I felt like I was passing it and it went, yeah, that's close enough, I guess.
Hadley hasn't finished it yet. She's been getting very frustrated with it. So,
but
it's fun watching her try.
It's fun to know that I have an equivalent response as a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
5-year-old. Oh, she's not 6 yet. That's right. My bad. But yeah, no, like I enjoy it. Like I'm glad they're still coming. The bots were cool. The first one was Heihachi from Tekken. Spoilers. Second one, I don't think I could pick the second one off the top of my head. Like I looked and I went, you look familiar, and I've seen you on the cover of something. I think it was like Rogue Galaxy or something, but I couldn't pick what it was initially. So it's like a red headscarf, a little green outfit from memory.
Yeah, it's from Thingo.
Thingo. You know the thing.
Yeah, it's gonna bug me now. It's from one of those.
Yeah, one of those things. The shows. You know, the shows people watch. Those ones.
No.
Hi everyone at home. We're currently googling Astro Bots to ensure we.
It's from Dark Cloud.
Nope, was not. Oh yeah, okay.
Fairy Tale Hero.
Yeah,
from Dark Cloud.
So I'm just. Oh no, yeah, fucking dong. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I remember. Like, so for me, when you said that, I pictured the cover of the person with the little face on the bottom. And yeah, it's that guy on PS2. Yeah, nice.
Yep.
But yeah, nothing else you played this week?
No, not really. I'm still playing my Civilization game.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't finished a single game yet. I'm at like turn 300 and something now.
Jesus.
The game's still fun. It's interesting. So I mentioned that one of the new things that they do is you can change your civilization when you get to a new age.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the other differences in this game versus older Civilization games is everyone goes up an age at the same time. Now there's no like, I completed my requirements first, therefore I have an age advantage now because you fucks are still in the Stone Age and I'm in the next one.
Yeah.
Everyone moves on at the same time, and it's kind of like a soft reset, and everyone.
So is it the first to trigger it, or
kind of? So and not everything carries over as well. So it is kind of like a soft reboot, and then everyone starts again, kind of sort of fresh for the next age.
Okay.
So I can understand why there are some gripes from like seasoned veterans who are like, well, why am I being punished for playing the game well? Like, where's my advantage from, getting ahead early? Because that no longer exists. So it's really friendly for new players. It's a nice spot for new players to jump in, or for people who are maybe not necessarily great at the game.
Is it something that could be toggled, like in the settings, or?
Not that I've noticed, but I haven't fiddled in.
Like, I imagine that in an upcoming patch or something, they're like, hey, we'll release like a hardcore mode, which is the standard version of the game, which allows for things like that, potentially, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I've still not jumped into Civ, mostly because it's just, I'm like aware that it's going to be a commitment. So I was like, all right, well, let's see how it goes, and then I'll make some time and probably sit down with it. But yeah, because it seems like a good Portal game, but I'm yet to when I have gone to bed or with the Portal, I'm like, I don't want to think. I just want to go sleep. So, one thing I had been playing though, Max, as I quickly write down sometimes, was Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. So big thank you to the team over at 5-Star Games for providing Max and I the review code for this title. It was a lovely surprise one on the Friday. So went, boom, hey, here you go. Like, shit, yeah, let's go. So I honestly probably put the better part of, this is like initial ass impressions because I myself, similar to you, have played fuck all. Like I said, I had my week off. I didn't really do much. I just watched TV and I chilled out and I just relaxed, which is something that I don't normally do, and it was quite nice. But yeah, so I did spend some time with that. It came on Friday, and then I had wrestling on Saturday, and then I had my kids, so I've not been able to jump into too gnarly. But it is a spin-off in the Yakuza, or what was formerly the Yakuza, the Like a Dragon series. You play an individual whose name escapes me right now. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. What is the name of your character? Let me think, and look over here. Goro Majima. So you play Goro Majima. You wake up on this island off Hawaii. You are in tight leather pants and boots. You got your boobies out. You're completely naked in the chest area, and you have an eye patch on, and you don't remember a whole bunch. You've got straight up amnesia, and yeah, you punch a bunch of pirates. You befriend a small child and a little tiger who will fight alongside you. Yeah, it's Yakuza. Like, if you like a Dragon, you'll like this. Now, granted, very early impressions from me, because very similar to my experience with Infinite Wealth. I'm aware that it's a game that I'm going to need to have been a mindset for, right? Like, the reason I stopped playing Infinite Wealth was because my mind, my brain went, okay, you've had enough of this now. So I'm like, all right, cool. So jumping in on this now, it's coming at the right time. I'm liking it. The change in combat. So one of the things we discussed last week with our demo experience, or in this case, Max's demo experience, was the switch to, the return, I should say, to a more action-based combat system rather than the turn-based that we saw in Infinite Wealth. I don't mind it. Like, it does play very, very differently. As of yet, no combat has felt life-threatening. Now, granted, early days, but I have, anyone that I can fight, I have fought them because I thought it would be funny. And I feel that I have a distinct advantage with using this as the combat method rather than turn-based. Is it because that was very similar to how you felt, right? Like, in terms of you preferred the turn-based.
Yeah, I preferred the turn-based because I felt it was more tactical. I could think about essentially what I was planning out because it used a similar system to what Persona does. So if you used a weakness against them, you would get an extra turn.
Yeah.
And you could kind of line up your combos and stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with playing a beat 'em up. It's just something that I'm going to have to get used to,
especially after coming back from
yeah, because obviously Infinite Wealth was my first dive into the Yakuza franchise, and I'm like, oh, this was cool. And one of the things that brought me in was it was an RPG, like a turn-based RPG, and I really enjoyed that. And once the story got rolling, I did kind of enjoy the characters, and I'm like, I want to play more in this world. And then they're like, hey, like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I'm like, ooh, okay. And it's not turn-based. I'm like, ooh, okay.
It went to ooh to oh.
Yeah, so I still need to play it. I haven't had the capacity to do so.
Exactly. Like we've discussed before, there are times where I just can't. I'd love to, but I can't. I just can't. But yeah, so look, other than that, it plays like a Yakuza game. It's got that little comedic feel to it. It's very it's essentially you play an anime, everyone's all like, oh, and it's all like over and large and unnecessary. And I think by putting it into a setting that amplifies that silly, by having it be, hey, these are like pirates, but it's literally like, in the 2000s, it's like now. So like, why would they need to be? And then, like the pirates speak all piratey with like like you squashbuckle and all those bullshit terms and stuff, which is good. But yeah, I don't want to say too. I won't jump too more in it. I feel a bit disingenuous because I've not spent super long with it. But yeah, I was hoping that you would have spent a bit more with it. But RMAT, yeah, shit like that, did play a very big role. But outside of that, as Max assists his fam, not much else I played. I reinstalled the what is it called? It was the Disney collection, the Aladdin, Lion King, Jungle Book. So my son this weekend, for the first time, my partner Phoebe was able to make him sit enough to like watch the Lion King, and he loved it, and like he enjoyed it. We knew he would, but he really, really enjoyed it. So we end up watching. He really connected to Hakuna Matata, as he should. So we ended up watching like the cartoon version, the live action version, the Hollywood Bowl version, and then I was like, "Hey, bud, I have a Lion King game, right? It's a game that I played when I was a kid. I played it on fucking floppy disks." He didn't know what that meant, so that was easy. But yeah, installed that game. It's still fun. Played it for a couple, 5-10 minutes, and then he got distracted and sort of wandered off, and as did I. But yeah, other than that, I'm very similar to you, just not playing a whole lot. That does make it difficult because, really, the news was kind of about the same. Not a whole lot to talk about this week, but there are some things in there. So let's get into this section we call Inform the Players. We tell you about what happened this week in PlayStation.
Let's talk about the Pro woes. So Sony's mid-gen hardware upgrade, the PlayStation 5 Pro, has enjoyed a similar start to its predecessor, the PS4 Pro, in the US, but has started to fall behind. According to Sakana analyst Matt Piscatella, who was speaking as part of the January 2025 sales results, which saw the industry slump to a 15% year-over-year decline. It should be noted that the tracking period this year consisted of just 4 weeks compared to the 5 weeks in 2024, which can help explain some of the drop-off. On the subject of the PS5 Pro, he said it's, quote, fallen behind the PS4 Pro's pace, launch aligned. It's always worth remembering, of course, the PlayStation 4 Pro debuted at $400 US compared to PS5 Pro's $700 US.
Yep.
Even taking into account inflation, it is a gigantic difference. We also weren't in a fucking cost of living crisis back then either. We all had money to spend, which we don't at the moment.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, like the big thing was that, the Pro release, and then the price of the PS4 itself dropped. Like, it was slightly more expensive, than what was a PS4 at the time. Then the PS4 went down in price. PS5 Pro stayed at like that and slightly above, I think, depending where you were.
It's weird because the internet discourse is like, everyone's like, oh, it's baffling that this is happening. Like, it's
not
really
at all.
It's really not.
Like me, I bought a Pro at launch because I wanted a Pro, because I wanted the extra power and the extra grunt. I want a PS5 Pro right now. I want that extra grunt. But you know what, Max? I don't have $1,300. And if I did, I'd buy it. So like, why is it not selling? Because you priced it in a way that no one will buy it. However, by extension, and I think the PS4 Pro was very similar in a lot of ways, is they're not having a very strong pitch for it, I guess. Like they're like, oh, it does this, that, the other. It makes it so you don't have to choose your display settings. It'll just give you both best performance and best fidelity. Ha! Brilliant. Amazing. Was do anything else than that? Yeah, not really. So like the average customer's like, yeah, well, that's not for me, right? Like, PlayStation have always, especially in the last, handful of years, have really tried to sell themselves in that Apple boutique product sort of space, and they're now charging accordingly, but they don't have the larger market buy-in that, say, Apple would, to where you're like, yeah, I'll buy a new iPhone, don't worry about it. Where weirdly we see spending $1,500 a year or every 2 years on a mobile device is better than spending $1,500 on a PlayStation or a console that'll last you 7 years, 10 years. No, you're bang on. Like, it's absolutely understandable. It's absolutely legible. People can't, sadly, people can't see the difference. They don't see it as a must-buy investment because there's not been a game. I guess Kingdom Come Deliverance probably the one that we've experienced most recently that was like clear as day of, hey, run this on a Pro if you can. You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
Because as someone like yourself who never upgraded in the PS4 space,
no,
you assume to do the same, but yeah, this isn't, and it's not helping your case to turn you around either.
No, although I am in the market. I've been talking to Ali about it because Hadley uses my PlayStation.
Oh, we've discussed this, and you're like, "Can I go to a second console?"
I'm like, I think we need to get a second console. And because here in Australia, Telstra offer, like proper cost PS5s. Like, they don't put a markup on it. They're just like, hey, this is how much they are. They're the same price at Big W or EB or Target or whatever. We'll just split it up into monthly payments for 2 years. And then you keep it at the end. And then obviously while you're paying it off, it's covered by insurance. They'll replace it if anything goes wrong. But they're like, hey, you can rent to buy, essentially.
Yeah.
Does
it have to then, like, for the insurance purposes, does it have to remain in said house? Can you do 2 PS5 Pros? Can I transfer you money on the monthly?
I mean, I suppose you can, but like, because I originally did it for an Xbox Series X a couple of years ago, and I went into the Telstra store. I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do, but it says it's only available to Telstra customers. And the girl who was serving me, she's like, yeah, but if you get this, you will become a Telstra customer. I'm like, I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. She's like, it's okay. This is how it works. Trust me. I work here. And then
you don't.
And then I was getting an Xbox. I was paying, I think it was $26 a month for Series X, with Games Pass.
How does that work? Like, how does that register you as a customer?
And because Telstra have a deal with Microsoft, their Game Pass subscription through Telstra is cheaper than buying it online or through Microsoft. So, I saved money doing it that way, which was nice. And then with Telstra, obviously you get the benefits of getting like their Telstra points every time you purchase something, and then you can use those to purchase other things. And this, that, and the other. So, but yeah, I didn't know how it worked out. I mean, I'm a Telstra customer now. My mobile plans with Telstra, I swapped from options. But yeah, apparently they can just make it happen.
Well, it worked though. It made you a customer. Like,
yeah.
Good hustle.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, interest rates have just gone down. I've been contemplating canceling some of my bloody subscriptions because Disney Plus is about to go up by $3 a month, and they've also sent out another email that says, "Hey, just by the way, we know that we have an ad tier, and you're paying for an ad-free tier." But there's going to be things that are going to have ads regardless. So like,
well, that's like live streaming stuff, like watching WWE as an example. It has ads.
Suck a big one.
Yeah, it wins.
So
that's like Netflix as an example. Yeah, but as Mute says in the chat, you do have access to The Simpsons. That's what I'm using Disney Plus for. And spoilers, you don't give a shit. Like, AEW's coming to Disney Plus later in the year. It's great for me. Get to watch AEW again. Cool.
Is that why they're prefacing me like, hey, you're going to see some fucking ads, dude?
Yeah, and those ads are, for wrestles. Yeah. All right. I still want one, and one day I will get one. Sadly, today is not that day. Max, one of the things that was a problem when they released Helldivers 2, and then they're like, oh, you need a PC login. it really caused some impact when you realize that there are so many places in the world that apparently PlayStation cannot sell to because there's no PSN or possibly a PlayStation Store at large. So PC enthusiasts are once again venting their anger at Sony over the restrictions of the firm places on the local availability of its games, with the promising Lost Soul aside being the latest victim. While the platform holder does not own Ulti-Zero Games, the publishing team, the development team. It is publishing the game on PS5 and PC under the PlayStation Studios banner. As such, because once again, part of the China Hero project. As such, it confirms to the same sort of availability restrictions past ports from Sony have shipped with. The main drawback is Lost Soul aside won't be able to be purchased on Steam in 130 local storefronts. Therefore, PC users who hold accounts in these countries cannot buy the game in their usual manner. Instead, they require another account tied to a profile associated with a region where the action title is available to buy. The restrictions didn't go down well with PC owners the first time around, and the same is now happening for Lost Soul aside. As the game goes live for pre-order on PS5 and PC, a reset error thread has been set up detailing the 130 nations where the title cannot be purchased. You can view the list of restricted countries through various links, whether it be on the reset error itself or where we source this information from at Bush Square. Many users are calling for these region-based restrictions to be lifted, pointing to how Sony recently softened its PSN login requirements to only an option that provides benefits in-game. This change isn't related to the availability of Sony's games, it's about where the hardware manufacturer has a local presence. You're able to buy PC titles from different regions, which would allow those facing the restrictions to buy Lost Soul aside. However, there's some hesitation to do so due to comments suggesting that fans do not do this, likely to prevent challenges or problems with security concerns on your account, like you might get pinged for buying it when you shouldn't have. I disagree that the idea it's as simple as, just sell it here, I suppose. Like, I would assume the reason is bigger than that. It's not as simple as you don't have PSN here. We won't sell it. What's your thoughts, Max?
Well, it's weird because if it's being sold on the Steam storefront, Steam is available pretty much everywhere. Why is there a problem selling it to?
Yeah, I presume the original thing was the PSN stuff, right? But I assume there's no PSN requirement.
No, I mean I have no idea. At the end of the day, they're essentially just leaving money on the table by not selling it to these countries.
Yeah, again, saw it with Helldivers, saw it with here. Like it's. Like pondering on it, as you said, like they're leaving money on the table. PlayStation could benefit from that money. Like I don't see them like everyone talks about arrogant Sony and etc. Like I don't think they're in that a position of a company to go, yeah, we don't need that money.
Well, if they turn around in like 4 weeks' time after launch and they're like, didn't really. We expected more numbers. People are going to turn around and be like, well, you left out 140 countries worth of fucking people.
Yeah, if they're like, oh, the PC numbers aren't very good. Like, yeah, duh. And especially because once again, if we go back now in hindsight, we know the many things that Jim Ryan said may not have been the best options available at the time. But like, didn't he make comments about like they essentially doubled the potential forecast for like PC uptake?
Mm.
And that's not going to happen now.
No.
Not going to happen.
Lastly, for the Sony's themed news, HBO has confirmed its TV adaptation of The Last of Us will return for a second season on the 13th of April this year. Looking to cover at least some of the events that take place in The Last of Us 2, 3 new posters have been revealed to mark the occasion. They feature Joel, Ellie, and Abby, along with a quote, "Every path has a price" slogan. Spoilers, some of the trailers and clips taken from Season 2 have been posted online, depicting early shots from the game that have been adapted for the popular TV series. These include Abby in a location, whom the TV viewers will have no idea who the fuck that is. Dinah and Ellie dancing in the barn, and Ellie again as she is about to deal with some people.
Yes.
Also included what looked like entirely new scenes designed to expand the story beyond what's included in the game.
I'm quite excited. Having a date is good, like it's reasonably close. Now, I haven't thought about like reaching out because last time we were able to acquire it through both Binge and HBO. They very kindly provided us screeners, and I'm debating whether I try again because like we didn't hear anything from them. Like,
yeah, I think you should. Purely because at the time we were doing weekly content on that. We were doing,
and I would happily do that again. Yeah,
and we had a blast. Obviously, there were some drawbacks to seeing screeners as opposed to experiencing it as intended for the first time. But I kind of enjoyed that. I thought it was fun.
Like I did. Look, I absolutely enjoyed watching a version of the series where like all the CG etc. had not been completed. It did change the emotional intensity of some of the moments, particularly watching a man with a giraffe's head strapped to a helmet. But I kind of like like I said, I enjoyed doing the weekly content about it, but I would like the idea to be able to sit here and like have it with the chat and like have it be an open dialogue, right? Like anyone that watched it, jump in the chat and we can communicate and we can like, speculate about the show, right? It'd be fun. Mute asked in the chat, oh wow, is that how early screenings work? Sometimes. Depending on the development, depending on the show itself, it can vary. So what they were doing is they were still working on episodes up until launch. So we were given, at the time, the whole series, but the first 3 were picture complete, and the rest were like, hey, you can watch them, but they are rough. Like there are some bit there. Like
did we get them all at once, or did they come in 2 parts?
May have come in. Well,
I vaguely only remember being able to watch the first 3 or 4.
In that case, well, yeah, you're absolutely correct. Like, yeah, there was 2 batches, but they were all pre-release. Yeah. So like they would, as they got completed, they would then swap them over, give us the complete one, take away the incomplete one, and then it would, that's not all. Like some home screeners that I've seen in the past, not all of them are like, CG missing. It's just not a common thing, but yeah, they're very clearly outline it, and as a result, we didn't hinder our review process because of it. But yeah, like I'll chase it up and we'll see what happens. But it would be fun to sort of have a shared experience.
Well, at least there's the option of like if you want to dabble, you can dabble, but
yeah,
if you want to be unsullied, I guess.
Well, you would say so, but like if we got given it, we would.
Oh, I would watch them.
Yeah, I said we would have to make content out of it. We could be like, yeah, we'll watch them and then watch them weekly with everybody else. Like it would make no sense. Because we got it like it was a 7-episode season, and we got it all before the first episode launched for like weeks. Yeah, I might chase it up. But look, say with that in mind, I haven't gone back and watched The Last of Us yet. I would like to watch it again. I really enjoyed it. I've only watched through the once, because it does take a lot out of you emotionally. It's very dark. It's very sad, and I think it's been long enough. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready, Max. Have you watched it again?
Yeah, I watched it with Ali.
Yeah, nice. Because like I
And
have,
I will probably rewatch it if this comes out in April. I guess I'd start in April.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, well, it's almost March, so I might as well just do it now because it'll take me a month to watch it because I'm fucking shit. But I have it on the 4K Blu-ray, so like it'll be not the version that we watched, which I'm intrigued. Is a big part of what's intriguing me to go watch it again.
Yeah.
But like it's fun to go back to things. So let's get into some rumor mill stuff, Max.
Going
And
back to things.
huh?
Just speaking of going back to things.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Mm.
I like how you called this one "Hit the Deck." There's no smoke without fire, and it seems the blaze has been getting bigger. We are now hearing rumors about the unannounced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 Plus 4, which will allegedly be simultaneously announced and released in June of this year. According to EXSTAS1S, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 Plus 4, a remake of the third and fourth games in the series, will be revealed during Xbox's Summer Showcase in June. And that's not all, though. Apparently, it will also be released at the time on PS5 after the presentation. This rumor comes after professional skateboarder Tyshawn Jones stated that he's in the Tony Hawk remaster that is, quote, about to come out. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 Plus 4 has apparently pitched to Activision but was turned down. However, it would appear that some sort of Tony Hawk project was in the works, and if it were to be believed by this individual, they're revealing his 3 Plus 4 is the third and fourth coming together. So this individual has previously leaked Forza Horizon 5's PS5 port before it was announced. Whether this Tony Hawk story has any truth to it remains to be unseen. However, we have an update. Activision has now made a tease featured in the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which also has a bunch of Teenage Ninja Turtle shit in it. While the Tony Hawk website sporting a countdown timer, it's counting down to the 4th of March. So expect the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 Plus 4 announcement in approximately 10-ish days. So this is not the first time. I do remember there being an interview with Jess Margera, brother of Bay Margera, drummer for CKY, with their song 96 Quite Bitter Beings, featuring quite prominently, I believe, in 3. So they mentioned that it was like something that was happening. We know it's happening now, so I know you, Max, you would absolutely prefer Underground.
Well, see, I like 3, but I didn't like 4. So if I was going to get a dual pack, I would have preferred Thug 1 and 2.
Yeah, Thug 2 you're not going to get. It's too ingrained in like Bam Margera and, Jackass and all that sort of stuff.
But from memory, it's only got Bam and Wee Man in it, right?
Nah, Steve-O's in it. Someone else is in it as well. Pretty sure. But that's something that I'm sure Bam would happily take the money. He's not doing all that well right now. But I think Thug 1 would be possible.
Well, the other thing is how much of it do they actually get a say in?
True.
Like,
yeah.
My only memories of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is literally playing at my mate Jaden's house, playing what is it, King of the Hill on the cruise ship as Wolverine.
Nice.
It's like,
look, so I most certainly played 3, and I definitely I played 4.
Like, if it comes out, I'm going to play the shit out of it. Yes,
yeah, that's right.
Like,
my memories of playing Tony Hawk does predominantly sit within 2, Underground and Proving Ground. They're the ones I probably spent the most time with. Proving Ground was fun because that was when they introduced like the skate with slow motion. You could fuck with the flip tricks and stuff. I enjoyed that. It was silly. But yeah, I remember playing them. I remember the song in the intro video for 4 was TNT by AC/DC. Those things. I remember playing a level on a pier. But that's what I remember. As it's similar to yourself, will I play it? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm going to play it so hard. And once again, in like, when the ABK deal happened, I was confidently like, nah, Microsoft ain't going to give a flying fuck about any of these old franchises. We know this got turned down. Like, they're not going to go back to the things that you would love and want. It's not going to happen. And
then they realized they needed to recoup their money. And they're like, people are gonna buy this.
Yeah, like, we need to recoup money and we need to get some goodwill back. Let's give people what they want. And then knowing that they'll get like, all of the money by selling it on PlayStation, or like 70% of it, I guess. That's just free money. Like, as we now know, when we are not going to see a Microsoft exclusive, an Xbox exclusive for the foreseeable future.
maybe timed, but not
Yeah,
full exclusive.
exactly.
Mm.
And they'd be insane to make
Well,
this.
speaking of exclusives, a rumor linked to allegedly accurate leaker Lunatic Ignis has started spreading. It follows a report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. The developer Rocksteady is looking to return to the world of single-player Batman. Word on these lawless, unverified streets suggests that the next effort would be based on the incredibly awesome, decidedly darker Batman Beyond, adapting its narrative but not the animated series' distinctive art style. However, curiously, the rumor suggests that the gritty IP could be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, which sounds a little suicidal. Following the fallout from the multi-million-dollar flop Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, you'd think that publisher Warner Bros. Games would want to get anything from the studio in front of as many eyeballs as possible. More grandiose still, it's claimed that this Batman Beyond title would form the foundation for a new trilogy of Batman games. It's believed that Rocksteady was roped into work on Hogwarts Legacy after work ceased for Suicide Squad. Outside of repeated rounds of layoffs, we haven't heard of the developer activities in recent months. Truly conspiratorial Gothamites will recall speculation that WB Montreal, another subsidiary of Warner Bros. Games, was rumored to be working on something similar, potentially a Batman Beyond game that was ultimately cancelled, with the team moving on to develop Gotham Knights. Could those idle assets be repurposed, rising out of the slaughter swamp like a vengeful Solomon Grundy?
Ooh, good reference. So I'd hope so. Like Beyond is sick.
Warner Bros. Is currently fucked. So.
They are fucked, and like, yeah, it's one of those difficulties where, look, as Mute says in the chat, every Batman Arkham sequel rumor is always Batman Beyond, and they're fucking true. Like, anytime given the opportunity, they can be like, meh. That's what we keep hearing, but especially on the back of the Arkham name being impacted by both Gotham Knights and most definitely by Suicide Squad. Rocksteady do need to do something to get back in the good graces.
Imagine if they go crazy and they do the Killing Joke.
Nah, yeah, it would be sick. And like, they touched upon the Killing Joke in Night? Well, yeah, because Jason Todd, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was all part. Oh, and we know, well, not Jason Todd, that's Death in the Family. But like, we Barbara Gordon is like in a chair and shit, so like it's established that happened.
Babs.
God, Babs. But yeah, it'd just be Batman Arkham Beyond, I reckon it'd be called something like that. Or Beyond Arkham. Yeah, Batman Beyond Arkham, that's what it's probably going to be called. Would I play it? Fuck yes. Fuck yes, I will.
Thank you.
Because I quite love me some Rocksteady. I said, like, right over here, to my left in the corner, I literally have a display case just full of Arkham figures, because I really quite like the Arkham, the stylistic choices of the Arkham series. But yeah, as I said, Warner Brothers being in a rough position makes it very difficult. But like, there is some understanding, like the exclusivity would be rough, but from memory, there was a pretty strong working relationship with Rocksteady and PlayStation in the past, including like Arkham VR, which never released anywhere. It was just on PlayStation VR 1. However, I think, or at least at launch. But then we've got that new Arkham game that is on MetaQuest.
Apparently, it is the best.
And it fucks me because I'm not buying a damn MetaQuest.
Do you know anyone with one that we can?
Who the fuck would buy a MetaQuest? Hey, anyone of my mates that might be listening to this, if you have a MetaQuest, let me know.
I thought about it once.
Well, yeah, you thought about it once, and then like, is the PSVR 2 still in the box?
No.
Have you used it?
Controllers are charging, so I can use it. I'm currently in the works trying to convince my dad to give me his, because I don't think he's ever going to fucking use it.
Why, he's not going to put it back on?
Well, they've moved the PlayStation into their bedroom, and it's just being used as a fucking glorified Chromecast.
Oh
now.
No, they were so into it.
They've given up gaming until Split Fiction comes out, I think.
Oh, that's like a couple weeks away, because like
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that would really like nicely change our shared custody. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I think it's your turn.
Quick bits. Elden Ring Night Rain may be selling bosses and characters as DLC after it showed up on the Steam page and then fucking quickly got deleted.
All right, Max. This is obviously a you thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it makes sense to be like, I'm not surprised. I don't know what characters they would sell as playable characters, but
Well, because like from my understanding from the beta is like you can't go in and fuck with your stats. It's like here is this archetype, here is this archetype.
Yep. You still find different weapons and stuff as you're playing, is my understanding. It's also priced at $60, I think, so it's not a full price game.
Is that US 60 or us 60?
I think us 60. So it's a smaller, like they know what it is.
Like a $34 game in the US. That's actually not bad.
So yeah.
Well, if they offset that with, you know, because once again they want multiple people playing it.
It's one of those, yeah. Well, it's a jump in, jump out style game. It's not a I'm gonna sit here and play it for 80 hours and finish the game. It's a I've got some time to jump in with my friends. We're gonna do a couple of runs, then we're gonna peace out. So
yeah.
Split Fiction will be cross-platform using the PAL Pass apparently because it just links to your EA account. So if you're playing on PlayStation 5, and
wait, I have to make another account, Max?
Well, I mean, it's easier on console because you just push the one button. It's like, hey, we're linked. Good job.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'll make an account. Who gives a fuck? Like, I'm not an idiot.
I guarantee you already have an account.
I absolutely have one. I'm just, making fun to previous, PSN controversies.
That's cool. It's doing the same thing as it did last time.
Yeah, the cross-platform is a key thing. I don't remember being cross-platform last time.
It wasn't. And then obviously, if both friends have the play pass, it'll let you play a few levels and then be like, hey, this is all you're getting. One of you needs to purchase the game, and then it'll unlock for everyone.
Yeah, that's such a brilliant system. Brilliant. Like, Hazelight have nailed it in terms of accidentally, making it open enough, like lowering that barrier of entry enough that you will get more sales because of it. Like they haven't been doing anything.
Square Enix has announced that the near 15th anniversary live stream will happen on April 19th. Apparently, Yokotaro will be in attendance. Hopefully, we'll get an announcement of whatever they are working on next.
Cool. I know you'll be keen for that rather than me.
Love it. Love Nier. Love everything they do. So yeah, it'll be definitely worth checking out. Assassin's Creed Shadows physical copies have already been released out in the wild. So
yeah, these are as we were saying in our little chat, like a back of the truck sort of scenario because the game doesn't come out till March 25th. What was the original release date? Was it around now?
Next week.
Oh, okay, that explains why it's out in the wild, isn't it?
I believe it was the same day as Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah. So my assumption here would be that was day one patch. They're shipping out these units.
Actually, it might be out. It might have been out now. I think it may have been the 20th. May have came out on the same day as Yakuza. And apparently there is a canon mode that is playable in Assassin's Creed Shadows where you don't get dialogue options or anything, and your cutscenes play out as intended as to the lore of the game. You don't get to pick which protagonist you play throughout the missions. You play it as the lore intended, which is weird because if they have a through storyline, wouldn't that be the way you want the game to be played? But whatever. I'm keen to play this.
Oh, here we go. So the game was originally booked to release on November 15th. Then in September 2024, they announced it was delayed until the 14th of February, which it was then pushed back to March 20th. So it'd be out for 10 days right now, had it released when it was supposed to.
4 days.
4 days? So fucking 20... no.
The 20th of March. On the 20th. Yeah, and today's the 24th.
Today's February.
Didn't you say 20th of February and they got pushed to March?
Yeah, no. It was the 14th of February.
Oh, 14th.
And then got pushed to the 20th of March.
So it was a week before Thingo.
So, like, it makes sense because they would have just, like, batch printed them, sent them out, And then, like, when it would have arrived at retail, I was like, just don't fucking sell it. Because that's happened. Oh, it's happened before, I'm pretty sure. Like, I remember there being a scenario where it's just, here you go. Like, as in, like, things have arrived at a store and they're like, don't you fucking sell them. Whether they did or not. Still gonna play it, though. Like, it's fascinating when it's like my first thought was, it's a month out. I can assure you that the version that is going on that disc ain't going to be the version they want you to see. There will be a big honking day one patch or a day zero patch if you're a reviewer of some sort. This game and Ubisoft most certainly do not need the bad press that I feel confident that what will come out of this will be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Like, especially when they've had to then, they've delayed it twice. They must have reasons for doing so. And then delaying it a month must have reasons for doing so. Like, what version are these people going to be seeing? Now, I'm going to do my best to avoid it from a social standpoint until at least I can get my hands on it myself. But yeah. Because I did want to make a joke earlier. They're like, oh my God, Assassin's Creed Shadows has broke street date. It's already out. I'm like, it already released. It's called Ghost of Tsushima or Rise of the Ronin. But I don't think that was the case. All right, Max. That's the quick bits done. Assassin's Creed's out now, accidentally. What other games are coming out this week?
We've got Ninja 5.0 coming to PS5, PS4 February 25th, and Monster Hunter Wilds coming to PS5 on February 28th.
Oh yeah, obviously we know where you're excited.
In my loins.
Yeah.
What?
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Getting you moist in the loins, What was the other one? Like some nonsense game?
Hawaii 5.0. No, Zombie 5.0.
Oh.
Something 5.0.
Not Hawaii 5.0. Yeah, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza 5.0.
I literally just read it now. Fucking lost it. I closed my screen down and...
Doesn't matter. I was just trying to remember what the other one was. And how White's going to have a real hard time against Wild.
Ninja 5.0.
Ninja 5.0? You weren't even close.
I said Zombie 5.0. That's close. Zombies, ninjas, same but different.
No. Whole different, lore. Oh, whatever. Either way.
Same.
Big thank you, everyone, once again for joining us. It is much appreciated. As we would do this show regardless, but it's nice to know that we have people listening somewhere for some reason. So thank you. But Max, I'm fucking exhausted. What time is it?
9 o'clock.
Shit. Yeah, I want to go to bed. Let's get out of here.
Alrighty, everybody. This PlayStation conversation happens every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you'd like to take part in future conversations with us, you can come and check out our socials. Facebook, Discord, Instagram, and X. All of those links can be found in the description below. If
you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopculturist. When watchers record this show live, we can jump in the chat and become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this PlayStation Pod. And if you are listening to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. If you watch us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculturist, as well as our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts, other sort of shit without logos on it. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Max Cooper.
And that was For the Players. Good tunes.